How is it possible for an Amtrak train filled with 253 passengers to just vanish?
Our first caress.
Now you understand why I'm leaving the United States for 10 to 15 years.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there's having a good day, y'all. We got a good one coming up today. We got missing Amtraks. We got billboards that say, don't hire humans. We got chicken that looks like a foot. Let's get into it, y'all. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No other train has passed that train. I do not know if we're going to make it or when we're going to make it. So know when you get on, these are your choices.
These are your choices.
They just said that the train that left from here at 8 o'clock this morning, the train that left St. Louis at 8 a.m. didn't make it to Chicago, they said? That's a little, and they don't even know, like they lost communication with the train. That's some scary shit. Like, yeah, oh Lord. If they, because no other train has passed where it would be, and oh God, I hope these people are okay. God bless. Ooh. Oh my goodness.
So they just said try again on another day. These are your choices. I'm not telling you not to take the train. I'm just giving you the information now so you're not on the train saying, why didn't anybody tell me?
The train that left before, are y'all going to Chicago? Yeah. Okay, so the one at 8 a.m. went to Chicago and never made it to Chicago. They think it is stuck on somewhere on between here and there. So he said if you get on the train, you may not make it to Chicago tonight. That it's a little bit scary. I love your coat.
Crazy, y'all. What's going on with this world?
How is it possible for an Amtrak train filled with 253 passengers to just vanish? So get this shit. Allegedly, an Amtrak train leaves St. Louis going to Chicago and his shit winds up missing. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Listen to what this man say.
No other train has passed that train. I do not know if we're going to make it or when we're going to make it. So know when you get on, these are your choices.
You hear that shit?
The train that left from here at 8 o'clock this morning. The train that left St. Louis at 8 a.m. didn't make it to Chicago, they said? That's a little, and they don't even know, like they lost communication with the train. That's some scary.
That man basically said, you guys can enter this train if you want to. It's not on us. Whatever is going on with these trains don't got shit to do with us. Y'all can get on this train if you want. But we're not saying that you're going to get to your destination safe. So basically a train with 253 people was missing. They lost it. No communication, no nothing. Mind you, they're saying that that train could have quote unquote derailed and they didn't even know. Here it is. The train left St. Louis on its way to Chicago and they have no contact with anybody. Nobody at all that was on that train. That shit don't sound right. As soon as I hear more about this shit, I'm gonna let you know what happened. I'm out.
This is Skrilla, the artist behind the viral chant 6-7. You have heard kids shouting it everywhere. Schools, playgrounds, and sadly, even in some churches. Most adults like myself thought it was just another silly trend that would pass. But in reality, kids are repeating a chant rooted in demonic themes, and they don't even know it.
6-7, a meme kids can't get enough of, and teachers can't get away from. Thought to originate from a rap song by Skrilla. But the experts we spoke to say the numbers really don't mean anything.
It's like slang to like make parents be like, what does that mean?
Now, Skrilla is openly and very proudly into demonic worship. The 6-7 song is literally a chant and summoning the spirits that this man operates with.
I'm a side though. I sacrifice goats, chickens, mice. Like, I do for certain though. Like, I'm not allowed to explain it. Cause I'm about to take y'all in my godfather crib so he can show y'all something about my religion.
Ochun. Yeah, this is Eligua, the path opener. This is the person who you come talk to when everything is going down. Speak to Eligua. You do things with Eligua. That's a goon.
That right there's a goon.
This is Ochun.
Just to further our understanding, how much does these figures mean to you guys?
I can make anything possible with them. Without them, I can't make nothing.
Yeah, like you can put bad spirits on people too. Like you can put a person's name, birthday. that inside you can put them inside the agun pot. Like you basically sending agun like metal, like they can get shot.
You know what's really crazy about that? Like, not even leaving the religion, demonic things to the side, which I'm not ignoring, but I'm just saying, like, there's kids in kindergarten that are following trends of people in high school because they're watching the same thing. Like, think about it. When you were in high school, were you watching things a kindergartner was watching or listening to? No. When I was in third grade, I was playing with Pokemon cards and Pogs and yo-yos, right? Kids in high school were doing like they're mixed now, y'all. These kids that are in kindergarten and first grade are chanting and saying the same things that people in high school at the clubs. I'm sure they're playing that song in clubs, and these these adults that are over 21 are drinking and doing the same thing that these kids in kindergarten are doing. Like, how crazy is that, y'all? Us as parents got to be in control of what our children are watching and not let them grow up so fast. God, it's a trip, y'all. These kids that are in kindergarten are chanting the same thing that 20, 25-year-olds are chanting in the club when they're under the influence. How crazy is that?
They used to love Oreos as much as the next person. But the fact is that these foods are full of ingredients that your body just doesn't get along well with. The lecithin, the enriched wheat flour, the seed oils like palm oil, canola oil, the high fructose corn syrup. It's creating inflammation in your body. It's not helping your energy, your mood, or your weight.
It's a struggle, y'all. I'm struggling with it every day. It's a monkey on my back.
What's the biggest mistake people make when they buy meats from the grocery store?
I think it's a mistake to think you're going to go to the grocery store and get a high quality piece of steak. Because the average distance a steak travels before it gets to your plate is something like 3,000 miles. Number one. That's not friendly to the environment, but also what the industry does to the steak and the age the steak is by the time it gets to you, it affects the taste, the quality, because it's not as fresh. It's been handled, it's been processed, and it affects the quality. The closer to the farmer you can get, in general with any produce, the better tasting and the better quality you're going to have.
This man received a vision from God that the world will end in a matter of weeks, and he is trying to save us all by building an ark. Bro, and if he is right, we have not learned from the first time, because people are trolling him hard in the comments. Ibo Noah was told by God to build a number of boats to save people from the flood 2.0, which he was told would happen on December the 25th this year. And months later, he has now built 8 arcs. That includes 250,000 panels of wood and is capable of holding 5,000 people each. Now, fortunately, there is some hope for us that don't live in Ghana, because Ibo Noah said that anyone from around the world can come and join him as long as they have a covenant with God. In fact, he says that one of his arcs will be able to hold 600 million people. Don't ask about the math, okay? Bro's a builder, not a calculator. Now, this has divided some people online. Some people admire his faith, and he now has 200,000 followers on TikTok, while others are trolling him pretty hard, asking him to do things like install sockets to charge their phones. And I mean, we all know how that ended last time. So the question is, are we all meeting in Ghana this Christmas? Or
You know what's crazy is the smallest voices can lead. Like, look what that small voice he got, that small thought. Look what it did. Look what the faith of that small, I've had it, y'all. I've had that small voice in my head tell me something, and I still carry it to this day. Not to his extent where I went and built a bunch of forts, but that all started from a voice when he was, I don't know, when I heard mine, I was laying in bed, it was dark, and I heard it, and energy, like that small voice, y'all, what it can do. Faith can move mountains, y'all. A little bit of faith can move mountains, as you can see.
Stuff. And gang banging is a lot of witchcraft within gang banging, bro. Like the hand signals, the whole, like, they have what's called knowledge, and they would write down codes to the gang and like pretty much what you had to live by. They would fast. They would, like, everything was in like ebonics to like how you communicate, bro. It's straight. It's just witchcraft, bro. And now that I think about it, all of the ones that were in my game specifically, like, you know, folk means for our Lord King Satan. Folks, folks, for our Lord King Satan. I didn't know that. I was in a whole gang worshiping the devil pretty much, and they would throw up pitchforks. Like they would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like fall, whatever, right? But it's demonic, bro. Like it's demonic.
They even wear the beads.
They wore the beads, and the beads had to get blessed. They got to get the beads blessed.
How do you get the beads blessed?
So like the beads had to get blessed by one of the like higher ups, whether it be the OG, triple OG, double OG, or like it usually is one of the like the women, right? So the men do a lot of like the labor, like the guns and the drug dealing and everything, but the women, what they do is a lot of the witchcraft. So the women will be all beaded up and they'll be doing protection on you when you go out and you selling weight. They would bless you and they would make sure that you were good and that you're not going to go to jail and that you're not going to get robbed or packages are going to get pushed through, whatever.
They would bless you like, bro, this is crazy because it's making me think about when I was in the witchcraft. So, you know, I was never gangbanging, but when I was in the Santeria and Voodoo, bro, like I had to get my beads blessed. Like I had to go to the shop, the Santero.
Yep.
And honestly, I remember it was a witch, bro. It was a bruja. And the woman, the witch, she would take the beads and put it in the Florida water, take the cigar smoke, like an old lady smoking a cigar, and bless the beads for me to go out and be blessed. And I had to keep like getting like renewal of the blessing.
Yeah.
Bro, I never put this. This is crazy.
And it's by rank. So like the more beads you had, the more deeper you were in.
It was the same thing with Voodoo and Santeria.
Yeah. And then they would make you do like, and you, to gain rank, you would have to go deeper. So like there'd be times where they'd be like, yo, you got to go shoot somebody. Or like, yo, you got to go cut somebody. Or you got to go beat somebody up. Or you go steal a car. So like, that's how you would gain rank. That's how you would get rep.
That's a Satanism.
Yeah. That's how you get rank. The more you would do, like, I remember there was one time there was like, I forgot who it was, some new people that they wanted to get down, bro. And the OG was pretty much straight up like, here's a strap. Go shoot somebody. And that was their mission. They would go on missions. And that mission is what you had to go do. And you had to come back and you would go with some member that's already a part of the gang and he would confirm if you did it or not.
I'm telling y'all this right now because I know some of y'all are going to get disappointed, but it has to be said. If somebody gets Neuralink because they got influenced by Kim Kardashian to get it, there's no saving them. Okay, I need y'all to understand this. There is an and you know where you're going to see it? I don't think you're going to see it on TikTok. You're going to see it on Instagram Reels is where you're going to see it. And I fear we all know the type of people who are going to get it or say they're going to get it. If this is where she's going, I feel like she's either going to team up with like some form of somebody selling a supplement to increase your low brain activity or some type of, you know, something along those lines, right? One of those like fake little pills. Or she's gonna do the whole Neuralink thing. And either way, we all know the type of people who are gonna rush to get it. And I'm gonna need y'all to not be disappointed. Because it's gonna be the exact type of people you think it's gonna be. I'm not saying we should be accepting of it or that we should rush to normalize it. Absolutely not. That thing, like, come on. Okay, come on. But I'm not gonna be shocked. That's the nicest way I can put it.
How long before this happens?
Imminent, because
we're on the verge. You're saying within days we're going to see something happen.
Because this is what we did with Iran, that we gave ample notice to their commercial airlines, do not overfly the Venezuela. That's exactly what the president has done.
Well, you heard it. It's imminent in just days.
Developing news of an imminent attack that is going to be coming here in the next few days. Take a look at the latest headlines with me so you can see it for yourself. Trump signals imminent land attacks. As the tensions and rhetoric between the United States and Venezuela continue to rise, President Donald Trump has announced the closure of Venezuelan airspace, sparking fears of an imminent U.S. land attack. Venezuela calls Trump's call to close airspace a colonialist threat. You can see this coming out today. Venezuela condemns Trump airspace closure warning coming out in the last 19 hours. Is U.S. President Donald Trump preparing to strike Venezuela? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, yes or no. I'm going to share with you the video footage where they're saying yes and very soon. And take a look. The airspace over Venezuela completely clear. You can see this coming out 15 hours ago. And here's the actual True Social post that he put out over the weekend yesterday to all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers. Please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. And let me know your thoughts. Are we about to see some serious attacks take place on Venezuela? We've heard the warnings, and now over the weekend, he's saying close the airspace. I'm going to play for you the video footage as they said this was the same thing that we saw happen with Iran, that there was that warning, and then shortly after, unexpectedly, hit. We're hearing that that could be coming here very soon.
Yeah. I mean, what happened to no wars and peace? And what is this war for? Oil, money. They didn't do nothing to harm us, right? You can say they're bringing drugs in, but is this going to stop drugs coming in if we go to war with them? Let's be real. No, never going to stop drugs coming in, because you know why? Because we're the biggest supporters of the drug, right? We get the most high in the country, so it's always going to come in here until we change that. Which I don't know if you're going to be able to change it, because people just like getting high. I don't know. I don't do. There's just no getting away from it. People just enjoy getting high. Why? I have no idea, because it does no good. You're on the streets, you're in poverty, you're dead, you're getting robbed. But like, what is this war going to do for the betterment of America? What is it going to do? Is it going to make our prices come down with all that oil? No. Is gas? No. Taxes going to go down? No. There's going to be no benefit, no change for us with this war. Nothing. Just more innocent American soldiers, because Trump, his family, his seeds, they ain't going out to the front line. If they come here, guess where they're going? They're safe. We're not. Our brothers, our sisters, our moms, our dads, our cousins are the ones that are the pawns.
Was not a meteor. That was not a fireball falling out of the sky. What that was debris that's falling from the galactic war that's happening in our skies. So a lot of us can agree that the storms that we have been having lately has been very weird. In addition to that, a lot of us have been hearing these booms from the sky that sound like it is out of this world, and that's because it actually is. So keep in mind, the solar flares are about to hit the earth even more. In addition to that, the sun is about to get 100 times hotter. And the reason for this is because the earth is shifting, and in turn, it is forcing us to shift as well as vibrate higher. We are in the process of moving from the 3D to the 5D. And as this happens, we are about to see entities, beings, and things that we have never seen before. Y'all, we are about to see animals that we thought was extinct, or better yet, animals that we did not even know existed. I told y'all when that sun was red, that planet Nibiru was pulling up. To all my chosen ones, y'all already know what time it is. We up next. Let's go.
If you unplug the computers and the batteries in the phone die, a lot of the younger generation don't have practical skills like we used to have.
This is what has been taken away because of the computers and the phone. People, they just sit here. They're just sitting here and they're doing this thing on the computer, typey, and looking. It's like, how can you expand as a human being when you're doing that? We're supposed to operate in the physical world. We're not supposed to be sitting in one place. We're supposed to interact with each other. And so then if you're looking at the computer is, okay, you might drift off and look at the news, or you might look at some bullshit on Instagram, and it's all of a sudden, it's streaming the same message over and over again. You are this, you are this, you are this. It's just BS, because this is the breakthrough that I believe will happen now. Education. Because perception and your belief system makes you see the world differently. And if you don't have the education, you don't have a belief system, and then you won't see those things.
Yeah, man. You can go to literally every city in the U.S. and you're gonna find Martin Luther King, and guaranteed that street is one of the most dangerous streets in that city.
You guys gotta look at this before and after video of Cynthia and Revo and Ariana Grande before and after the movie Wicked. There is something happening spiritually. Look how afraid she looks, y'all. Look at this, that we cannot see. Look at this.
That continues to grow and grow even through this past storm. Something's bothering her.
So weird.
So good. You're doing so good. I just want to say, everyone will suffer. Something at the party tonight. Yeah.
The entire state of Oklahoma, it's just a turnpike. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
$40 every time.
I don't think I've ever been to Oklahoma, but it's not high on my list of like places I want to visit.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be.
There was one great bird watching spot there, the Wichita Mountains. Are
Oh, I
nice
didn't
there.
even know Oklahoma had mountains.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
it's
they're
too.
smaller mountains, but it's a beautiful place. Beautiful place.
Okay.
Yeah. Toll state though.
To talk about now is really upsetting to me. Ex-NFL quarterback Trevon Boykin said Thanksgiving at Russell Wilson's mansion felt weird because none of his family was around. Let's take a listen to what Boykin had to say, Ocho.
Yes, sir.
Russell Wilson, I went to his house for Thanksgiving. The weirdest feel like he catered. So no, you know, like, bro, I come from a traditional country ass black family.
We doing that.
If I got as much money as Russell Wilson, my whole family would talk about me so bad if I ain't fly everybody out there for Thanksgiving. And I'm sponsored by an airline.
Yeah. Maybe he's not close to his family.
And maybe he not. But his mama wasn't there. Sisters wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though, like, it still weird to me. I'm just still, even if you don't fool with your family, like, it still weird to me on Thanksgiving. My family gonna do the food. That's just what we gonna do. If you the one with the money, we coming to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me
that part.
That's
how
what we gonna do. So
yeah.
to get over there and catch Russell Wilson, like, him, is literally him, Sierra Daddy, me, Noonie, Baby Future, the chef, and 2 nannies. And 3 dogs. And Baby Future at that time was bad as hell.
Hey, Unc, I got a question.
Mm-hmm. I hope I got an answer for you too.
Why is he sharing the information anyway?
Cause, see, that's what, not chat. Now you see why I don't have a whole lot of mofos at my house. See, he worried about somebody else's family. Your black ass there. He invited you. He looked at you like family. And what you do?
Turn around and come
Got
and talk
diarrhea
about
of the mouth. You think you telling something. Man, I went to Russell House, that mansion, it was weird. Yeah, because he had an outsider in there. That was the weird part about it. That's why you don't let people come to your house, chat. Nobody. First of all, no. Me and my brother had money. Guess what Thanksgiving was always at? Granny's house. Even though we couldn't get back, it was always going to be there. When we had a big ass cookout, Ocho, guess where it was? In Granny's backyard.
Damn.
Why? Look.
Right? This when the Baltimore Ravens was on fire, nigga. This when the Ravens was on fire, bro. Y'all didn't get to see Ray Lewis play live. See, don't it, it benefits being my age. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't see Ray Lewis come out the tunnel with that. Y'all didn't see the. But look, fucking, do y'all know who the safety was? Ed Reed that played with Ray Lewis at the time. This nigga had a pick 6, right? And he gave it to somebody in the crowd. He gave it to a kid in the crowd, right? But when he gave the ball to a kid in the crowd, not the ball boys, the NFL referees ran to the little boy, tried to take his ball. It was all on camera. Somebody else was videotaping, not the TV camera, not how the NFL cameras. It was this regular fucking, it was a woman filming the game from her handheld camera. My nigga, they trying to take the ball from the little boy. The daddy like, no. The police come over there, nigga. They say some shit, grab the daddy and the little boy down, take the ball from him and give him another ball. A fake ass bullshit. I'm about to just give him another ball, right? And so the dad do an interview. He like, they basically told us, like, I can get in trouble if I don't give away this ball, give him this ball back. It's going to be a fine if I don't give him this fucking ball back. And I'm like, what you mean? He like, we're not going to let you leave with this ball. That's an NFL official ball. We will give you another ball to replace it. He like, no, Ed Reed gave my son this ball. He like, I don't care. So they come down, he give him another ball. I'm like, what the fuck? After that, that's when it comes out, bro. That's when it come out that the NFL balls have chips in them, my nigga. They got chips in the ball. I don't know what.
And you know what's even crazier for anybody that doesn't watch sports or football out there? It's not just they play with the same one ball or the same, let's just say, same 5 balls. Each team, before they even get to the stadium, like the week before, they have their own balls. Like, let's just say the Cardinals, the quarterback, whoever picks out his balls for the game, and it's got a Cardinal emblem on it. Let's say they're playing the 49ers. The 49ers, they got their own balls. I don't know how much for the game. Let's just say 10. But they don't have, it's not just like we're playing with the same one ball or the same 3, because sometimes, I don't know, maybe a ball can go out of bounds or into the fans or something and they take off with it. We don't got a ball no more. We can't play, right? They got them. But what I'm saying is each team has their own set of balls. The Cardinal ball will never be played with the 49er ball. So you can see how they can maybe put a chip in there or some magnets or whatever and dictate where the ball's going, what ball's going to get dropped, what ball's going to spin at the right velocity so it's easier to catch, what ball's going to spin slower so it can go off your hands. I wouldn't be surprised, y'all. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So there's got to be some type of control in it. I highly believe in that.
Gonna do now that Doc is there in the Bucks. It seems like he messed up every place he go.
This is his last chance.
I mean, you know,
last shot, Doc.
I still got a little beef with Doc. I don't even want to tell y'all the story because it's gonna make y'all not like that man anymore.
No. We have plenty of time to listen.
You know, I can't. It sucks because things that happen and you look upon, you know that it's set up a certain way, and you know you can't do nothing about it, and you can't even.
Yes.
It's like you can't even go tell somebody else, like somebody that's even above that man. Like you can't even go tell, like, yo, this guy's doing this and he's keeping me from getting a certain blah, blah, blah. You see what the NFL guys are doing, right? When it's incentives are on the table. So this long story short, I had it in my contract where I made like $2 million. It's like 1.5 or something like that if I played a certain amount of games. Doc River gives me a DNP. The game where I needed one more game to get $1.5 million. And all I had to do was go in the game. And before the game, I told KG, I told the team, and they were like, man, what you gonna do? Because, you know, the real in me wanted to just go sub in and just say, yeah, just sub. But
you like that right there costed them $1.5 million. That's how much control you don't have as a celebrity, as an athlete, as a major influencer out there. $1.5 million because he didn't step on the court for 1 second. He lost $1.5 million. And the clip cut out, which I didn't realize that until now, but the players around him were telling him, if you go sub yourself in, you're going to be out of the league. You can't do that. You just got to fall in line. What would you guys have done? Would you have gone and checked yourself in to get that 1.5, be kicked out the NFL? I mean, you can live off 1.5. You can live off the interest. I mean, you ain't going to be able to live that lifestyle that basketball players, you know, like to live. But you can get by pretty damn comfortably. But that's how they are controlled and told what to do. And when you step out of line, the whole media, everybody just attacks you and calls you a bad person for speaking your mind and doing what's right.
Understand why I'm leaving the United States for 10 to 15 years.
Okay,
right?
let's hear it.
Because what's going to happen is over these next 2 presidential cycles in the United States, we're going to see what comes next. Every time someone tries to compare Donald Trump to the big evil people of the world, the Mussolinis or the Hitlers or whatever else they want to compare him to, right? They're forgetting that one cycle before Mussolini, one cycle before Hitler, was the person who enabled the worst leader of the time to be elected. Donald Trump is not the worst leader that America is going to see. He is one leader who is going to, our response to Donald Trump is going to lay the foundation for the real villain to come yet.
The real tyrant.
And whether that person is 1 cycle away or 2 cycles away is up to us. But if anybody's afraid of Donald Trump, they're They're silly. They're ignorant to be afraid of Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't make the changes he wants to make in his 4-year term. Even if he does claim some kind of emergency power where he gets a 3rd term in office, 8 years is not enough time to implement all the changes that would need to take place to truly destroy our country. But whoever comes after him, whether they are an extreme right pro-Trumpian or whether they are an extreme left response to Donald Trump, you can already see how damaging that next person is going to be unless we're careful about it.
Right.
People who do night shift work have an estimate of 15 years decrease in their lifespan. 15 years. So there's a large scale epidemiological study that looked at cancer rates as well as longitudinal study of lifespan of night shift workers, or rotating shift workers. And their lifespan was reduced by 15 years. They had significant increases in cancers across the board. So not just a particular cancer, but all different types of bodily cancers. And then even the World Health Organization has labeled shift work as a level 2 carcinogen.
Ooh.
And it goes back to fighting against our evolution and biology and what our genetic program is.
Lady Gaga actually tried to get out for a while. They've been, in many ways, taken over and exchanged the eternal for something temporal, fame and fortune, etc. And here's what it sounds like. And Lady Gaga has told this story, and I've heard this from others as well, that the language that the devil uses is you have what it takes. And so in this case, Lady Gaga performed at some low-level place, and she was feeling frustrated in her career path, etc. She wanted to be famous. And she goes into the parking lot after the show, getting ready to get into her car, and a guy, well-dressed man in a hat and a suit, walks up and says, you have what it takes, right? And what does that mean? You have what it takes to exchange your eternal soul for temporal goods, which I happen to be the prince of this world. Fame, power, riches, the three, the world, the flesh, and the devil. These are the common triad of enemies against the human condition.
I mean, all the fast food spots are closing down.
I don't believe in that. Because that voice I heard that I was talking about earlier, he said you have what it takes. Now, when the devil comes at you, you're going to have to do something, right? Tell these people selling your soul to make it, sacrifice to make it, right? You have what it takes means it's in you, but it's not going to be given to you. You have to earn it. Now, it's there. You can achieve it, but you can also not achieve it. Like with the devil, it's if you do this, you're there. You just got to do this. But when it's righteous, when it's God, you have the potential, you have what it takes, but it's not going to be given to you. It's up to you. It's not, if you sign on this dotted line, you have the world. So I don't like what that dude said.
I think, that's because of everybody's waking up to the shit. I mean, you have just constant videos and shit coming out where people are just becoming more aware, but McDonald's closed 700 stores. Wendy's is closing 300 plus stores, fourth quarter alone. Like, I think we're entering a new era where fast food is out.
Well, going back to the movies, here's the thing. In the movie Demolition Man,
This is fantastic. You guys gotta try this.
Just don't ask where the meat comes from.
there was fast food wars, and basically all these fast food companies were going out of business and they were fighting for the top position. The only one that survived was Taco Bell. Now, Taco Bell, what are we seeing with Taco Bell?
They're turning into bars, cantinas. They're popping up everywhere.
What? In the movie, all the restaurants are all Taco Bell, and they're like fancy. And when old boy went to go meet the mayor guy, he was like, yeah, chick was like, yeah, he's taking us to Taco Bell. It's going to be amazing. And then he was like, Taco Bell? He was like, what? And he went there, it was all fancy and it was crazy.
It's literally like that in Hollywood.
So could it? Yeah.
Could
Could
it
it
literally
be
happen? Yep.
that all these fast food restaurants are going to go away because you like you just said, 700 locations closed down for McDonald's, all these.
That's a lot of fucking locations.
That's a lot.
Starbucks, 600. Dairy Queen, Hooters just filed for bankruptcy.
And that's the thing. Information moves at the speed of light now because we have social media. People are realizing they can do their research on all these things where, 3D printed meat. And we're looking at, all these companies that were lying to us over time and all these lawsuits. So people aren't eating these fast food restaurants anymore because they're like, there's other alternatives.
Proof that Hollywood is evil.
Okay, so Jeffrey Epstein, sure, we all know Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Rest in peace. He was also obsessed with bioengineering. Oh yeah, like nanotechnology and shit, right? Well, biotechnology, and so he had all of these scientists that he would donate money to their charities, and he would have them work on things and stuff. And people were saying that he was trying to create he wanted to basically be able to alter genes and make different kinds of life and stuff like that. But what I heard, and this is completely unsubstantiated, but I heard it and I thought it was fascinating, was that he also had these same guys, because they were disease specialists and everything like that. He had them design a novel coronavirus that was his kill switch. Basically, that was his trump card, which is I don't go to jail or I release this shit.
We really think it's just one giant coincidence that shortly after he spoke those words, he happened to just fall off his balcony. Hello? People have also pointed out that Zach Kreger, the former friend of Trevor Moore, his career has skyrocketed since that time. Also want you guys to keep in mind that falling off a balcony is the same exact thing that happened to Liam Payne. How coincidental. Comment below, let me know, am I onto something or am I tripping?
See what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is what happened, but what this guy's, kind of saying is that dude, his friend, did, offed his friend so he can go, right? That's the devil, y'all. The devil isn't going to come to you and be like, this is this, if you eat clean, if you do right, if you don't do drugs, if you don't drink, if you don't, you're a good father, you do whatever, you may be able to get there. No. It's if you off this, if you smoke this, if you drink this, if you do this, if you do this, you get this. But there's a but there.
Lights trigger something nostalgic in me. We talked about it a couple years ago in Christmas Story. That final scene, those analog light bulbs on the tree, and I went off on it. I was like, man, I'd give anything to have those analog bulbs. Someone in the comments mentioned True Tone bulbs, TRU tone bulbs. They mimic the warm glow of vintage incandescent bulbs. They're glass bulbs painted, but they're LEDs. So they're safe because they don't get hot. Like those old bulbs would burn your house down.
That was the problem.
It was the problem, but they were gorgeous.
Yep.
And they have super reduced energy consumption. So I was blown away. I bought them instantly 4 years ago, and every year since I've actually bought more. I have the entire exterior of my house lit, and then I just bought some of the smaller bulbs for my tree. They had a Halloween package with orange and purple lights.
Okay, good.
Yeah, those
dude.
Were the
and so
lights.
I bought these lights for the studio. These are the ones.
Is that what these ones are?
I don't know what it is, but True Tone perfectly captured that vintage nostalgic feeling that I want from Christmas lights.
Now I remember I used to always drive around this neighborhood, right? When I was going through what I was going through, I would always drive through. Anybody that's from, the west side of Phoenix, Litchfield Park, right? I remember I used to go through it so much, I would ditch school because I couldn't tell my mom, couldn't tell my sisters what was going on. I ate breakfast. I remember I ate McDonald's. This was the day I was supposed to be in school. I ate McDonald's for breakfast and I ate In-N-Out for lunch, y'all. Just driving through the neighborhood. That's all I did all day. Crying, right? Going through it. Driving around. But anyways, there's a house in that neighborhood that I love during Christmas. It is just the basic old school lights. Nothing fancy. No floats in the yard. No lights on the floor. Just those old school lights on the roof. He's got like a 1950s pickup truck in the front. And that house, y'all, I ain't going to be able to do it this year, but every time I drive through that neighborhood, especially during Christmas, I love that house, y'all. That is just basic old school car in the front. All it's missing is a coat of snow on the floor. Just brings back happy times thinking about that. But that neighborhood holds something near and dear to me. Litchfield Park.
Big homie got a good point. That's why the government don't intervene with no gang violence.
I was just in a couple countries where when different gangs were having problems, the government would come and mediate because they label these type of these conflicts as blood feuds. So it would have to be government mediation. I don't know why we don't do that here. But if you have something going on that perpetuates profit for the private prison system, driven by violent music, and it's all connected, then you probably not going to interfere. Because in Kenya, they got a shoot on sight order if you a gang member. So think about that. But you know, in certain places they got gang enhancements and stuff like that. But they banging 63rd in hoods in Kenya. In Eastlake, they banging 63rd. You got guys over there in Kibera that's claiming OTF. That's how powerful the music is.
Yeah, it's powerful.
14,000 miles away.
You know, when you hear about how
even in the Bible, when talking about aliens, it's even in the Bible. I have children not of this flock. It's in the Bible. That sounds like aliens to me.
The book of Ezekiel, he was the first one to talk about aliens. Yeah, it's in the Bible.
And even the Bible itself, right? King James Version. Like, you got to really look at who wrote it. So King James, him and his clergymen, guess who was in that group? Shakespeare. Thee, though, thou. If you go to Psalms 46, go 46 words down. It's shake. 46 words up. Sphere. He encoded his name in Psalms 46.
What? Listen closely, because what's happening right now is deeper than what people think. The United States didn't just wake up one morning and decide, hey, I'm gonna threaten Venezuela. He announced land strikes, shutting down the airspace. And the way he's speaking with that level of certainty, that shit is not normal language, y'all. That's calculated and that's strategic. That's meant to send a message far beyond one country. So publicly, the explanation for this is because of the drugs, the trafficking routes, and the criminal network. But when you look at the actual flow of drugs coming into the US, Venezuela is not the primary source. They not even at the top 5. So you sit there like, when the reasoning don't match the reality, you start looking deeper. What's really happening is a shift in power. Venezuela is positioned at the top of South America. And if you control that region, you influence the whole hemisphere. And as of right now, the US is making it clear to who is going to maintain control of that spot. This isn't about the volume of drugs, y'all. This is about leverage. It's about pressure. And it's about setting an example. And the way this man just came on the air and was like, there's going to be land strikes, and people was just like, damn, he's so blunt with it. Did he mean to say it like that? Yes, that was intentional. It tells Venezuela and every other country that's watching exactly where the US stand and how far they're willing to go. When a superpower start talking like this, y'all, you gotta already know that the decision has already been made. It's just been made behind closed doors without us knowing, until we know. So while the headline is showing one thing, the real moves is happening under the surface. Pay attention, because moments like this, the world changes quietly before it changes loud.
I mean, it's the same thing as the WMDs in Iraq, right? They told us that's what we're going for. And years later, these guys are saying there was never no WMDs to start with, right? They just went to war. Same with this. They don't care about drugs, y'all. You can drive down the street, 27th Avenue in Phoenix. You can see people high on drugs. You can see people shooting up drugs. Cop drive by. They don't give a damn about drugs and us, y'all. That's what people need to wake up. They ain't doing it for us. He's doing it for his own power. He's doing it for the powers that be. Because we ain't gonna get no benefits from it. Drugs are still gonna be here. I don't care what you do. Drugs are always gonna be here. And we ain't gonna get no benefit from it. Our taxes ain't gonna come down. Our wages ain't gonna come down. Or not our wages, like the things we pay for, inflation, whatever you want to call it, prices. They ain't gonna come down. They're gonna say inflation's down, but it's not down, to where it was 2020 and prior. It's down to where it was at in 2023, 2024. It's down, but it ain't. We're still spending more.
For us, it's going to be Venezuela. You know that?
You think it's going to be Venezuela?
Yeah, we're going to Venezuela because they want to overthrow Maduro.
It's not a big country. They're cut off from half the world. There's a million countries.
No, they have more than the Arabs have. Their oil reserves are like unbelievable.
Like, I understand they have sanctions on them from all over the world, but why are they as poor and destitute as they are when they have that much?
It's that guy Chavez. I've talked to many people from Venezuela, like that guy Chavez. Okay, fair enough. Let's also be fair. The people with the money to move to America from Venezuela, the level of people that were starving before he came in is why he won that election. People that are starving don't give a shit if he fucked up your fucking economy.
Right.
They're kind of upset about that.
Right.
But why is it our problem? Because they have those resources.
What do you think you lost lifetime gambling, including that $30 million? 350 million. The bulk of that, probably to the Caesars Corporation.
Yes.
The Caesars Corporation. And that was in 2.5 years.
Yes.
Wow. That's just no one. People,
And you were living here at the time, or are you still coming? I was living in a suite.
Living in a suite.
2000 on property.
Matter of fact, in 2007, Caesars Corporation said 5.6 of its entire gambling revenue came from you alone.
5.6%.
Of their entire money came from Terry Watanabe. I don't think anyone else has ever done anything like that. And it can't happen now.
You know, Vegas had top-notch women in his suite, top-notch liquor, top-notch in his room. All you want, pills, whatever you want. Come on in. 5.6% of their revenue. This guy was living the life in Vegas, right? But I just don't get the mindset of people that gamble, because I was never a gambler like that, right? I'd go to Vegas, I'd probably take $500 for 4 or 5 days I was out there, right? I just went out there to have fun. I didn't go out there to make $1 million like some people do gambling, right? Like they want to. I would just go, throw $100 a day just to have fun. But even then, that was when I was drinking, right? Drinking. I would make money. This is how bad I was. Just walking around in Vegas, you see a random group of people and you just start talking. And the next thing you know, let me buy you a shot. You're taking shots with random people, like drinking. And I would have like $500. I'd make 1,000. I'd wake up in the morning. I don't have no money. Like it probably fell out of my pocket when I was trying to take something, my phone out of my pocket or something. Lost $1,000. You know what I mean? So that's how bad. But when I went to Laughlin sober. And I was like, I'm just going to go have some fun, right? Sober, a little solo trip. I never been back. I was like, there's a reason why they give you free drinks in Vegas or in Nevada. There's a reason why they give you free drinks. Because when you're sober and that 20's gone in 10 seconds, I'm like, I ain't never coming back here again. What's this baby doing? He's awake. Bang this video out for y'all.
Ancient Egypt isn't in Egypt. It's actually in the Grand Canyon. They don't want you to know that.
Yeah.
There's pyramids down there. There's pyramids in the Bermuda Triangle. That's why they lie to you about the Bermuda Triangle. It's a fucking lie.
Right.
Because there's space stations down there. The extraterrestrials come out of our waters and go down to the next world.
Right.
Okay. It doesn't always go up through domes because you have to have the certain frequency to get through a dome.
You could go
so
down.
A lot of them go down through the shoals under the earth of the whole plane of earth and come up through oceans. We don't have that technology because we're only 8,000 years old.
Right.
They have it and have been fucking monitoring us since we were born.
Right.
But we don't know that because we're stupid and we pay attention to television.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a lot to take.
This right here tripped me out. There are owners of private prisons that are suing the states that they are contracted to put people in prison in right now in this country. Let me say that again now. There are owners of private prisons that have been contracted by the states, put their prison in that state and put people in prison, that are suing those states because they promised them a certain amount of occupancy. And since they've changed some of their laws to be more lenient on locking people up, which has reduced the population in the prison, and now they suing them for that makeup because they promised them more people than they got. This is how much of a business putting people in jail is. That because they operating at 50% and y'all promised me 75, 80%,
I can sue y'all now because y'all ain't locking up enough people. Yeah, because y'all reduced and changed some of y'all laws, so y'all not locking people up for simple shit no more, like y'all was. Now, our jails ain't as full, we not making as much money. So either y'all gonna have to pay me the money that y'all, the difference, or y'all gotta lock some more people up. And the states can't afford to pay them out of the pocket trade. So now they in court going back and forth right now over this. Like, yo, this is crazy. This is how much of a commodity and how much of a business it is to lock people up in America.
So why do you think the world's going to be over soon?
Well, as Bill Gates said, we need 3 billion less people. And they really don't give a how we get 3 billion. If we had 3 billion less people, we don't have all these crises that we have right now.
That's where I go back to just enjoy your day, because you can't do shit about it. When there's global elite that have billions and billions and billions that they can buy off governors and judges and presidents, like there's people in control of this world, and I'm not in it. And again, unless you know those people and you're one of those. And I do. Well, then you might be in it. But I've never been to a meeting where they're like, all right, we're going to off a third of the population so we have air in 100 years.
They don't talk like that. They everything's theoretical. And they put up their PowerPoint presentation and some little skinny, or 2 or 3 little skinny from Stanford, Caltech, and MIT, and Oxford. This is what could happen if this happened and this happened. Then somebody in the back of the room will raise their hand. And what are the probabilities of all these things happening at once? Not self-induced. In other words, not caused. They said 0%. And what it's helped along a little. They put it nicer than that. Oh, we can make it happen 1 out of 3 times. Everybody kind of chuckles and. But I'd rather be part of that group. That's why I call everybody a meathead.
Man, what are we doing? Well, we're checking out the myth and the legend of that evil church right there. If you know, you know, Arizona. If you know, you know. From what I heard that he made millions of dollars doing like child abductions and shit like that, human trafficking, et cetera, et cetera. But all I know is that place is evil and it's not a place of worship. Yo, so we just went over there and there's a security guard that came up to us like all stuttering and shit. And he's like, whoa, what are you guys doing? Hey, can't be here. You can't be here trespassing. It's not evil. He knows. He knows we know, chat. That's the security. That's the guard. The guardians of the gates. He knows too much.
Look at this. What the fuck? I thought it was a person for a second. Don't go in that house because you're gonna die.
When Kobe died, there was this whole thing that was surfacing about how Kobe at some point made some kind of metaphorical transaction that he would be willing to die young if he could accomplish everything he wants to in his career, kind of thing. And then he dies young. And then the whole connection with LeBron, and there's this whole thing that people were saying was like some kind of ritual where they met in Philly at that game. And then like, I think it was like a few days later, he died in the accident. And you can look at all that kind of stuff and say, maybe it's hearsay. I don't know if there's any people that are athletes who implicitly say, I sold my soul to Satan to get to the NBA, you know? Right. But like when you have artists and musicians and actors saying these things, for anybody watching or listening, it's like, at what point do you need to have evidence before you start believing that there's an enemy out there that's warring for your soul, and that there is this thing called good and evil, and you're in the middle of it. The very people who you look at as sane people, oh, they're Hollywood, they're musicians, you know, they're people to be looked up to. When those very people are saying these things, at what point do you need enough evidence on the table before you start saying, you know what, I need to make a decision here, you know? And I feel like that's why I mentioned about how I feel like we're approaching like this finish line, because it just feels like my enemy is taking the mask off and saying, yeah, this is me, you know, and try to entice people just with rawness.
You'll have.
I mean, why would you wish that? Like, I want to be the best NBA player, and to get there, I would be okay if I'm offed early. Like, what kind of, that's how desperate some people are to be in that limelight and be successful, right? And there's ex-teammates that have come out and said he always talked like, my time's short. Like I'm not going to live to be old, right? There's people that come out and said that about Kobe, but you got to be careful, y'all. You got to be careful with what you say, because it wasn't just him that went out. His young one went out. A whole nother family went out with him for that promise he made to be the best NBA player, to be the best at what I do. Making that sacrifice. Did he do it? I don't know. But he wasn't the only one that was part of that, right? His family member, another family. Like, is that the price of fame? Like, who would do that? Who would want that? You know what I mean? Who would want that?
And people still get them because when they lock this internet up, ain't nobody streaming nothing. Streaming was created for real-time editing. The reason we're all into streaming, the reason why they took the hard drive out of the Apple TV, the reason why they don't want you with content is because they want to be able to alter content. See, if you're streaming, it's on their server, not yours. You don't own it. You don't even have it. That's why they sell a computer now, the fastest computer out right now, and the hard drive is tiny. Why you only give me 128 gigabytes? And then if you want more, you got to pay thousands of dollars. Absolutely. Why are they doing that? Because they want it in the cloud. Because two things happens if it's in the cloud. One, they have it. And the other thing is they learn it. Metatron don't know. He's not omniscient. He's not like God or whatever. This demon spirit has to learn. They It's need a our learning. voices, our images, our dude, it's us. We're all cyborgs. There's a digital version of all of us in the hands of the enemy. He's created it from our uploads. He's showing all your birthdays. He's showing everything you do. He learn it. How else would the devil be omnipresent? Oh my. He wants to be like God. The internet makes him omnipresent. That's crazy.
Yeah. Everything we search, everything we, recipe we type in, everything. Sometimes when you're doing MyFitnessPal, you can add in a food that's not there. That's, that's more knowledge for AI. We're the ones that gave AI, just like, what Pokemon Go, how that one company used Pokemon Go to learn the terrain, right? To learn the terrain. It had us go out looking for, I didn't play that game, but looking, if I had my son was older, I'm sure I would have been playing Pokemon Go, but they used the people to go and navigate the map for them. Same with AI. We
If
created
you
AI.
never wanted to go to the military, this video right here might make you want to go. Because I'm not going to lie, it had me looking like, man, bruh, look at this shit. This is real, y'all. This is not a game. Even though it looked like it.
Yeah, it does.
Make you want to go play Call of Duty or Battlefield 6. Look at this shit, y'all. Watch. The helmet can see through the fucking wall. Nigga, I'm like, you can see through the wall now, fool? Let the recruiter come to me in high school and show me this. Nigga, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm signing up. What the fuck do I sign up?
They did today, but you could see it. So pay attention.
Look at this thing.
And it was worse. Like, I'm talking about, you could see it right here. Marcus, something's going on, bro.
That they're spraying.
It was so bad, I called you. Did I not call you?
You called me.
I was like, Sonny, get on your balcony. Don't stay out there alone.
Okay, but what'd you learn in this documentary? What is it exactly?
It's without a doubt, this is happening for real. They show the companies, they show the patents, they show that even though states pass law, Tennessee's passed laws against this, but it still happens in Tennessee because it's federal airspace. So it's being done on a federal level. Millions of dollars are being pumped into there. She even tracked one of the flights and then cornered the pilot as he came out, and he wouldn't say his name. You can watch the whole interview. She recorded him without even knowing. She doesn't even know his name.
And so what do you think?
She was former Air Force. Yo, she was former Air Force, and when she discovered all that, after she finished, she just came out and it's been her life work now. Like she was in the Air Force.
That's gangster.
Something massive is afoot right in front of us, and I'll prove it in 1 second. Unrelated, did you see what Tucker Carlson just posted? I'll be right back. And I mean really stay till the end.
What are these lines in the sky that we have all seen?
There's sprayed particulate dispersion. Bottom line is when we have up-close film footage of these aircraft at altitude with nozzles visible turning dispersion, this is not, quote, condensation. Watch.org is the only entity to sample what these heavy aircraft are emitting at altitude. We found exactly what we knew we would find, starting with aluminum particles, bioavailable freeform aluminum to all life, period. That element is named in numerous climate engineering patents as part of a geoengineering dispersion element. This elephant in the sky.
So of course, we know all these people are just being downright bat crap crazy. We know. Like, what are they even talking about, right? But let me ask you this. The same video is posted on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. No problem whatsoever. Why now? By the way, TikTok, I'll sue you. There is something much bigger afoot right now, and it's apparent that the lid is being removed off everything under a certain circumstance. Would he have been able to post that video a few years ago? You know, the sky has been so clear and blue, the whole government shut down. Look at this beautiful night a few nights ago. Of course, the shutdown is completely 1000% unrelated to the sky. Why is there an X in the sky at nighttime? Why now? Think. Bookmark, save the video. Something is coming.
Bro, I'm tripping right now because, like, I was just trying to trim some of the fat off my chicken, and I started realizing, don't this look like a human foot? Or am I tripping right now, bro?
I was a young actor. Yeah, I was asked to go to a hotel room of a director. It was a famous director, and I didn't think anything weird by it because I never think it ever happened to me. And so I went, and he was in his robe. I still didn't think it was weird. Well, he probably just came out of the shower or whatever. And then he asked me to do, to do the scene and then crawl on my belly around it. And then it got to a weird place. I remember that humiliation, and I didn't tell anybody.
It's pretty obvious that this stuff goes on. You don't even need to hear it from a person who's been in the industry for 20, 30 plus years. I'm sure you recognize this guy's face. I've said before in the past, these people put themselves in career positions where they can nurture and, unfortunately, take advantage of young, impressionable people. And that's not just in acting, that's in all talent-based career modules. And the whole element of being starstruck or whatnot, it can make people let their guard down.
I remember a couple of my buddies lived under a bridge, Davy Road Bridge. And I'm like, maybe let's go check out, see what they're doing down there. You know, so I go down there, bro. Under that bridge became my life for the next 2 years. Living under a bridge, bro. And the stories and the events that unfolded under that bridge, bro, you tell them to an average person, they would like, it's crazy, you know. Just one of them, man, being under there late night. And I remember I had a buddy and he went to jail. For a couple of weeks, he got out of jail. We go under the bridge. We went and copped some dope wherever we went. We go back under the bridge because this is a big bridge, man. We had cardboard dividers under there. We had beds under there. We had fans. You had the water at the bottom if you needed to wash your shirt, or, you know, if you even needed to pull up some water in your needle, whatever, bro. Like, that was just what our life was for 2 years, man. And he came under the bridge, and the kid, his name's Ryan. He's gone now. He came under the bridge with us, and he got high. And I remember me and her, the girl Chris, we had to leave, and she had to go bust a lick, you know, go sell herself. So we leave and we come back. When I left with her, the kid Ryan was up against the wall, kind of how I'm sitting on this chair, but under the bridge. We come back 2 hours later, and he's sitting in that same position. And I'm like, hey, why don't you go check on Ryan? She goes, checks on him. She's like, he's dead, you know? And, bro, you would think, like, that would affect you as a human being. Bro, it didn't affect none of us. Like, you know, the 6 people that were under there were like, fuck, Ryan's gone, you know? We're like, what are we going to do now? Because we got a bunch of drugs under here. Like, what are we going to do? Not me, but another person, associate that I was with, bro, pushed him into the water. Like, that's the type of people that I surrounded myself around. And then we went about a quarter mile down the road, and one of the dudes that did it, he got a guilty conscience. So he made a phone call, anonymous tip. And he's like, hey, there's a dude overdosed. He fell in the water. You know, that's the type of people I hung out with. That was the lifestyle I had.
Our first. I mean, it's the fact that they love drugs more than, for one, their own self, But for two, anybody else, the drugs that sell their mom's couch to get that hit, right? That's why everyone went on about their day. And the first thing he said after going on about their day is, what are we going to do with all these drugs? That's when you're in that lifestyle. I've never been in that lifestyle, but this is just from the outside looking in. The drug overruns everything. It takes over your own livelihood. It takes over your own happiness. Like, that's the thing that makes you happy. That's the thing that takes, I guess, the pain away. That's a tough life to live, though.
Yes.
Millions of people watched this shocking moment live on TV. None of it was planned. To this day, nobody really knows what happened. It looks like Wendy Williams saw something and then just dropped to the floor right after. About 3 years ago, you probably also saw that weird video of Katy Perry where her eye glitches. She pretends nothing happened and keeps performing. She's not the only one that happened to, and she never explained what it was, probably to hide something and keep people from worrying. In another live broadcast, a TV host glitched on camera, but watch closely how she wakes back up. I've never seen a stare that creepy in my life.
I'm sorry.
Kylie Jenner is known by hundreds of millions of people, and yet in one interview she does something you just can't explain. Watch the strange motion she makes with her hand. Everyone who follows this account knows what that gesture means. If you don't know, just ask in the comments. Either I or a real follower will answer fast.
They're killing us slowly, man. This is episode 30, and today we'll be talking about how dish soaps are low-key fucking your health. The point of this series is to show you the harmful additives inside popular products, and then to provide a healthy alternative without sacrificing too much convenience or flavor. As more research on shit comes out, and we just have more access to information, all of these ingredients that have been common for a really long time are starting to be exposed for potential health negatives over time. My general goal here is to provide a good and bad of ingredients inside dish soap, and then to give you a general baseline of what those ingredients actually do. General rule of thumb before getting into actually the details of specific ingredients is when you're shopping for dish soaps or hand soaps and stuff like that, you're looking for plant-based or plant-derived ingredients rather than just straight up chemically derived ones. And this is an easy one to spot because companies who do this want to advertise that yo, we're plant derived, this is a clean soap. All right, so number one is a term called surfactants, which is the cleaning compound, the fucking grease removing compound. So I'm gonna break this up by two categories. The first list I'm gonna show you is the chemically derived ones that you should probably avoid. SLS and SLES can cause skin irritation, eye irritation, and in some cases during the manufacturing process it's converted into a potential carcinogen. This list is the plant-based surfactants, and that are going to be a lot more gentle on your skin, on the insides of your body, your eyes, all of it. So if you see these, you're good to go. Number two, if you see just fragrance, bro, it's just a chemical cocktail. If you can find some sort of a dish soap, you don't need your dishes to smell lavendery. You don't need your dishes to smell good per se. You just need them clean. So anything that has just general fragrance is going to be chemically derived, and so you're literally just coating your plates and cups and silverware with chemicals. Number three is dyes and colorants. What you should avoid is if you look at a dish soap and it's just bright blue, bright red, bright yellow, it's definitely got dyes in it. You should be looking for something that is clear, opaque, you could see through it. It's not colored to fuck. Number four is antibacterial agents. One that you should watch out for is something called triclosan. And in reality, soaps do not need extra antibacterial properties in there. It's going to clean on its own. And number five is foamers, which give that just perception of being clean because it's foaming up. Natural coconut derived plant-based ones are solid. You should avoid ones like DEA, TEA, and MEA. Right here's a picture of an ideal soap that you could buy. It's clear. It says it straight up on the package, plant-derived, plant-based type shit. I know it's really easy to let this shit overwhelm you because seemingly everything is somewhat bad for you at this point, or that's at least what it seems like. You'll make a lot of progress if you could get yourself in that mode of just paying attention. You don't have to go in and do a bunch of crazy research, but when you're not paying attention at all, that's how they get you. This has been episode 29. If you disagree with something I said, toss it in the comments. If you have an idea for the next type of product or specific product that you want me to review and talk about and get into, also comment that down below. And as always, stop sacrificing your health for the sake of convenience and flavor.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know what to do if you made it this far. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, y'all. Nothing really going on today, right? This is part 2. I had to take a break, go feed the baby, chill with him for a little bit. He's back asleep. Got in here, banged it out for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, y'all. Nothing going on today. Just do some laundry. That's about it, right? That's all I can do today. I can't go out. I can't hike. I can't do none of that today. Mama Bear is very close to being home for some time, though. I can't wait. Then I can get on a routine, start working out, start hiking more, start getting more active. I'm big on routine, y'all. So that's the plan in a couple weeks. But for now, baby duty. This is Segovia, signing out of the Man Cave. I'll see you guys on the next one tomorrow. Later.